The Lord is with you.
And with your spirit.
The proclamation of the good news according to St. Matthew. We are reading in chapter 17. We are reading in chapter 17. Chiwerenga in chapter 17. Jesus took Peter, James, and his brother John and led them up on a high mountain by themselves. He was transfigured before their eyes. His face became as dazzling as the sun, his clothes as radiant as light. Suddenly, Moses and Elijah appeared to them, conversing with him. Then Peter said to Jesus, "Lord, how good that we are here. With your permission, I'll erect 3 booths here, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." He was still speaking when suddenly a bright cloud overshadowed them. Out of the cloud came a voice which said, "This is my beloved Son, on whom my favor rests. Listen to him." When they heard this, the disciples fell forward on the ground, overcome with fear. Jesus came toward them and, laying his hand on them, said, "Get up, don't be afraid." When they looked up, they did not see anyone but Jesus. As they were coming down the mountainside, Jesus commanded them, "Do not tell anyone of the vision until the Son of Man rises from the dead." For our salvation, the good news of the Lord. I shall go. Jesus is on the mountain. It's higher. When you go on the mountain, the big meaning, we are not going to talk about the mountain, but in a way, as we look at the question we asked when we began the Mass, what type of a Christian are you? What type of a Christian are you? I don't know what answer you gave in your heart. I said, don't respond, but answer within yourself. What type of a Christian are you? We can also continue and say, what do people say about you concerning your Christian life? What do people say? We all have heard something. Somebody has said something about us. What do they say? To the extent that some people have been called Christians, they've been called by some people, "Yeah, uja ni satana uja. Devil." I'm sure you have heard this, or you have said this. Mukristo amuza tuwe bakamba ni satana, ni devil. Mukristo devil. Unambira hapo devil ni Mkristo. But Wakristo wena wakambiwa so. Satana uja. Ni devil uja. Ni uipa uja. So I don't know what answer You can give us, if we call you to come in front and tell us what type of a Christian are you. And what do people say about your Christian life? What do people say about your faith? I would like us to focus in understanding what we are looking at, to focus on the body of glory. This is the body of glory that we are seeing, Jesus and Moses and Elijah. There's this body of glory, shining like the sun, radiant, full of energy, vibrant, shining. What is the body of glory? For anyone to understand this, you have to look at so many things. Some people, for example, in some cultures, even in the Bible, they will tell you about 3 bodies. That a person is body, mind, and soul. In some texts, they use spirit. In some cultures, they will tell you, no, human being is more than 3 bodies. There are 7 bodies. Some cultures, they talk about 12 bodies that we have. And depending on what you are looking at. But all they want to indicate at the end is that part of your body, let's say if you say there are 7 bodies, the 7th one is called the ether. It's called the ether. This one, you want to talk about our aura. It's outside us. For some pictures that we see, there are some pictures we have, holy pictures, you find the halo. Chija chamene chioneka round kumutu kwa muntu oyera. Chija is a symbol of this body, which is the body of glory. Vazmai, for example, munga wamai wali apaja vabarakatambara white yako. That's the meaning. This is a symbol of holiness, purity. This body of glory does not die. When Jesus is talking about, I am the resurrection and the life. If you read in John chapter 11, I'm the resurrection and the life. It could even be very difficult to understand for some people. I'm the resurrection. What does it mean, resurrection? And again, I'm the life. I'm the resurrection and the life. What does it mean? It's a question of the body of glory. It's a question of the body of glory. The body of glory does not die. Let us take some simple ways of understanding. Waenda wapeza muntu, then akupa a cold shoulder. That is not the body of glory. Akupa a cold shoulder. You are not welcome, and you feel it. Oh, wapeza muntu, hakuchita welcome. That's the body of glory. Welcome, and we rejoice when you are welcomed like that. If you want to go further and look at some texts in the Bible, the Blessed Virgin Mary meeting Elizabeth. That meeting with Elizabeth would indicate to you what this body of glory is. To the extent that the child in the womb of Elizabeth leaps with joy. Just at that encounter, that meeting. Wakumana chabe morning, greeting. Just a greeting. And the baby leaps with joy. Mwana kondo ya mkati. Niye kuti wakumana na muntu oyera, muntu wabwino. I had an experience which I never forget. I was dressed up for mass. Nenda kumisa. Then panja, before I entered the church. I was working at the cathedral those days. Ingena mu church chabe so. One lady greeted this mother and the daughter. Kuwapasa chabe moni. Bish, kuwapasa moni. Once wawili bamba kuluka. Once wawili bamba kuluka before mass. And if you find out further about this woman, they will tell you she's a witch. Voipa. Kupasa chabe moni so. Bantu bamba kuluka. Wawili once. There is no coincidence like this. Somebody greets you and both of you start vomiting. It means you, the one greeting them, something cockeyed, something is not well with you. I shall go. let us go back to the question, what type of a Christian are you? What is your answer? What type of a Christian are you? Gabi bwela, na muzako uja, aenda kuti muzako uja. Bwela nikono Gabi na muzako. Bwela nikono. Nikupa send drama hizi hapo. Bwela nikono. Muzako aenda utuzi. Aloha. Bwela hiyo. So, these people I'm giving them. Dalama is Mazingati? 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 Zali. So that's here for you. Unibwezera for. Okay. Zingati? So if I ask you to come, or I ask this in front, you come and examine these manners. You're going to see the other 100 kwacha is fake. It's not real. This one is real. This other one is not real, but in 100 kwacha. Hii ukaenda kugula wakugwira yo ili kuja usaidia wakugwira. They will arrest you. It's not real. And this one is real. You can buy and they will give you even the change as kupasa bwino bwino. So here, when we ask the question, what type of a Christian are you? All of us, we came to church today, people are seeing us as 100 quarters. But we want to say to a Christian and to church, people believe. But when they examine us, when we live with them, they come to notice that it's not true. This one is a good Christian, a real one. This one is a Christian by name. It's just fake, nominal Christian. So these two beings are everywhere you go. You find these two everywhere you go. Today's world actually has even been divided into two languages. Those who are vaccinated and those who are not. We find this in our life. The day is divided into darkness and light. When Jesus comes to judge, at the end of time, there will be two groups, the goats and the sheep. We can go on and look at that if you want to understand this party. The major thing we want to look at is you have to understand what type of a Christian am I. Uyu olo uja. Wantu wao nachabe tonsi tuone kama 100 kwa chapa. But wakafika pafupi waona it is not true. Similarly, if we take this, I'm trying to explain again. We take flowers maona. Natural kutia flowers. Natural kutia. You can see these flowers. But if those of you who are very far, you even if say, those flowers are good. But these are plastics. Even if they're plastic. Real flower, real flowers are there. So, even when we are looking at the body of glory, this is what is the church. Then how you can show a Christ, but when you go here, you examine, you find the plastic fake Christian. This one is the real Christian. Plastic. And this one is the real Christian. So this is where we have to understand the body of glory. We can all appear as flowers, appear as 100 parts. Notes. But when you go closer, when you come closer to this, that's when you're going to say, this is another thing in Greece. Chinese Christian, Chinese Christian. So, what type of a Christian are you when you are looking at the body of glory? What are they saying about you? This one or this one? This one or that one? What are they saying about you? What are they saying about us? We take this one, which also can be used up. This is the 50 kwacha. In 50 kwacha. Ni 1 kwacha. You remember this money? 50 kwacha. This one is 50 kwacha. This is 1 kwacha. If we ask children or anybody here, come and get, which one do you get? This one is real. This one is real. This one is fake. This one is this time you can't use it anywhere. Unless you have masenga, then maybe you can use it that way. But as money, you go to buy or go to bank this one. They will refuse. One more, they will refuse. This one they will accept. You go to bank, this one they will accept. It's a 1 kwacha, this is a 50 kwacha. And this is how we are here. Ungaoneke 50 kwacha muno, cancel chabe fake. Sindiwe 50 kwacha when, sindiwe ndalama when. We can't use it. The Lord cannot use you to buy anything. This can be used to buy, this one, as a buying power. This one has no buying power. This one has buying power. This one has no buying power. My flowers in Mozaya. Babale, where are you? What type of a Christian are you? Abatu my flowers are. But in that time, Mairo come over. Mairo, what is the Mairo? I shall go. So the body of glory, if you look at our lives, all of us, we were given, but our Christ, we are given the light candle. When you are baptized, you are given the light. And even Jesus says you are the light of the world. He never says you are the darkness of the world. Never. He says to his own, you are the light of the world. You are the real coin. You are the real money. You are the real flower. Go and radiate. This one, if you smell it, and if you smell this one, you smell this one. Really. If you want to ask the bees, my bees, yabwere kutenga nectar, where do they go to pick? Correct. There's nothing here that can be made into honey. There is a lot that can be made here. There's pollen here and many other things that the Lord has put. What type of a Christian are you? What type of a Christian are you? The body of glory, I want to use a priest. There's a priest, very old priest, and very sick. He was very sick, hospitalized. The priest was a holy priest, but now he's sick. Because the body of glory is not yeah. So alimu hospital, but in the ward where the priest was, he was praying for those sick people with him in the ward, and they were getting healed and discharged. But because the body of glory, even when you are sick or when you are what, it doesn't die, it doesn't diminish, it doesn't go away. It remains intact. That purity remains intact. So I admire this priest, very sick, in the hospital for a long time, but praying for those. Even some of the workers there were asking Father to pray for them because they were seeing those people getting well and they're going. That is the body of glory. That is what we have seen also when I said Mary meeting Elizabeth. Just by the greeting, the child, there are some people here, when you meet them, you are happy. You don't want them to go. You even tell them, why are you going? Oh, I'm happy to see you. Now, you have made my day. They make your day because the body of glory in them, of course, is not yet fully developed, but it is coming up, coming out. That is what Jesus is trying to help us understand. When you are baptized, you should become real, like this coin, real. Become real. Not when you are baptized, wankala fake. Here. When you are baptized, when you become a Christian, you become real. But as you grow, as you live, you still develop that body of glory because it doesn't die. And this body of glory, it is the one where Jesus is saying, I am the resurrection and the life. It's the one we have read from the Old Testament and from the New Testament, the second reading. We hear that the disciples will even say, he said, this is my beloved son. And the gospel indicates the same. This is my beloved son. We have been taught by the second reading, the sons and daughters of the Lord must shine. That is the body of glory. nyamene tingonkhala nayo tupi la ulemelero mukristu weni abale mavuto ni aya mavuto yaliko ukristu especially chikakamba chipa muntu mukristu amene ali fake mavuto ni aya kunja muzaona ni ndalama zoona muzaona ni flower zoona muzaona ni 100 kwacha zoona but mukafika pafupi so ni waja wa Kristu chikanga chikristu ku church kuno they are Christians by name but they appear wherever they appear or whatever they tell people they even show them their baptism card at ndine mkristu nabadizika and it is true anabadizika siboza but they are not practicing Christians. They mislead others. They are blind. They don't see. They take someone to hell. They help someone go with them to hell. They lead somebody into sin. Amuchimwisa muntu. No sati kamozi. So Kristu uja siwa mene tingakambeti body of glory kuwala ukwiya nishisuwala yeah sunikila tikangana nkani mankamaka youngsters today youngsters they are being misled. Most of them have been misled and they are also misleading others and they lose out in their faith. You ask them their faith uzapeza shiri yokwima bena shiri yokwima. Try, if you want to understand what I'm talking about and want to prove for yourself, try to go to the colleges around. Colleges, universities. Go and meet our Catholic Christians. Go and meet them. Go and meet them. And then maybe when you talk to them, you're going to realize, you muntu. Sometimes even when they get into the college or university or wherever they go for study, even that is the end of their Christian life. By the time they are leaving college or university, completely shattered, or they shift, they move away. Because they have never understood their faith. They have never taken it as real. Let me conclude with Peter, James, and John. And then we merge these to four things that I'm going to say in the end. We merge them. Peter, James, and John. You read 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 13. It says, these three remain. Peter is faith. Hope is James. And love is John. These three remain. These are theological virtues which a Christian who has to show this brightness has to develop. Faith, hope, and love. You want to use other terms? Cross, Peter, anchor, James, and heart, John. You want to use colors? Red, green, and yellow. These three colors. You want to use the horses? I can go on and on. Because people do not understand. These three, that's why they appear here with Jesus. And for a Christian to be strong, he has to have these three virtues. You have to have these. Ulina chikulupiriro, ulina chiembekezo, ulina chikondi. Manje tizi wanamuli hivi vintu four. Maganizo, your thoughts, our thoughts. Desires, what you desire, what you long for, desires. Attitude, number 3, our attitude. You see this, the body of glory, you can see it very fast. It can't even take long, very fast. And lastly, I put it, our behavior. Behavior of the Christian can indicate to you whether they are real Christians or they are fake. Their thoughts, what they think, can indicate to you. Their desires, what they desire, can indicate to you. Their attitude can show you. And then their overall behavior can show you this one is not a real Christian, this one is not A person who follows Christ, they hear the word, but they don't follow it. They have gone for repentance, but they never changed. Sana change. So they still remain dressed like Christians, but living like wolves, and very dangerous. Shall we stand? Let us profess our faith.